2022 National Progressive Women Conference of APC. APC! Something just changed with the national anthem rendition with such a distinctive voice. Let's put our hands together for Team Definition. It's a celebration of a nation, celebration of a national, and inclusive Happy New Year welcome. From what I understand, to remain seated while the women all rise to take the anthem. Sing a song for women everywhere. Let it ring around the world and never, never cease. Sing a song for women everywhere. Equality, development, and peace. Women can't be silent when all around the world children die and hungry children cry. We'll sing out now for justice and development and hold the hands of all the people high. Sing a song for women everywhere. Let it ring around the world. Never, never cease. So sing a song for women everywhere. Equality, development, and peace. Sing a song for women everywhere. Equality, development, and peace. Sing a song for women everywhere.
This is the first conference being hosted by the ruling party for our progressive women. I want to say thank you to the Caretaker Committee members here present for giving the women an opportunity to come together under the leadership of our national chairman to review and to speak with one voice for the growth and visibility of women in Nigeria. Permit me to state here that as women of the ruling party, we understand the fact that we are the representative of women in Nigeria. And so it's important for us to do a diagnostics of all that the APC has done for women and what we intend to do going forward. It's important to note that our party, the All Progressives Congress, is the most gender-friendly party that has ruled Nigeria. With our social investment program, we've been able to touch the 774 local governments in this country. And the greatest beneficiaries of our social investment program are women. We've been able to give them conditional cash transfer, loans, and train women in various skills. And as a party, we're also complementing the government by ensuring that we take this also to create more, platform for women to be elected under our party across all levels. We're here today to review why we need to come out in our our numbers as Nigerian women. Come out in our numbers as mobilizers of the electoral process to ensure that our women are voted, our party remains in power and continues to give Nigerians the dividends of democracy that we promised our people. Under the leadership of our president, we've had female ministers who have shown their worth and who are currently managing critical sectors of our economy. On this note, I want to say thank you to Mr. President for finding us worthy to manage the resources of our country. Through one of our own, my minister, the Honorable Minister of Finance, who has done tremendously well to ensure that the facial policy of government is actually touching the lives of Nigerians and touching the lives of women at all levels. I won't want to keep us here because I don't have a written speech. I'm speaking from my heart. I want to welcome every woman that has come in here from the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory to the National Women's Conference. We have to, and I repeat, we have to make sure that our party, the All Progressives Congress, wins all elections across the 36 states of Nigeria. We have to make sure that our party, the All Progressives Congress, wins all elections at the national level. And I can tell you that the party is ever ready, properly positioned to empower our women because they understand the importance of the progressive women and the importance of the Nigerian women. And so at this note, I want to appreciate and apologize to all our dignitaries for the delayed commencement of this conference. But I want to assure you that we'll be having an exciting time discussing for 2 days, today and tomorrow, issues that affect women, issues that will bring about more visibility for our women, issues that will bring about empowerment of our women across board. It's important to note that the fallout of our congresses has also brought about more women in the party. More women in the party under the leadership of our national chairman, occupying positions, party positions from the ward level to the local government and at the state level. And we hope, with the support of our governors, our leaders and our stakeholders, and the support of Mr. President, we'll have more women represent us at the National Working Committee of our party. Thank you, and God bless you all.
I'm delighted to be with you at this very special occasion of the National Progressive Women Conference with the theme, One Voice, Women Uniting for Progress. As the theme suggests, I am confident that this conference will unveil issues that will improve the fortunes of our party, the All Progressives Congress, and to support the government of President Muhammad Buhari to improve the lives of Nigerians. The women group no doubt constitutes a large proportion of Nigeria's population. Therefore, your role in nation building, political and socio-economic development of our nation cannot be overemphasized. Today, Nigeria proudly parades a good number of women at the federal and state levels, as well as in political offices, serving with excellence. We need more women to continue serving the nation. At the moment, at the home front, you define the family with great values which shapes our larger society and modeling the present and future of the country. We are indeed proud of these enormous contributions. Politically, women have always played key roles in our electioneering process and administration. You have no doubt remained the best mobilizers of support to any political party and its candidates. You have always been there on cue on election days and determining the victory of every single election. It is in realization of these great roles that the APC, as a matter of deliberate policy, always reserves some spaces at all levels to carry the women along. The party, under my stewardship, conducted membership registration and revalidation exercise. We found it expedient to constitute a special committee on women and youth before the commencement of the exercise. The roles you played made the membership registration and revalidation exercise a huge success. Today, APC parades over 41 million registered members, asserting our position as Africa's largest political party and, of course, Nigeria's leading political party. With this, we are confident of winning the 2023 general election with huge success. I therefore want to use this opportunity to sincerely thank you for your support to the party before, during, and after the exercise. I also look forward to your more support during the convention and indeed the general elections. I'm proud to add that APC is the most women-friendly party in Nigeria. Let me also assure you that the party shall reciprocate this gesture by supporting women and youth in their political aspirations and to realize their political dreams. We look forward to having more women contesting in the forthcoming national convention of the party come February 26, 2022, and the general election. Now, as we approach the convention and moving closer to the next general election, I wish to remind you of your progressive roles in supporting progressive-minded leaders aspiring for various offices for the betterment of our country. You should preach the doctrine of peaceful elections. You should enlighten your spouses, children, brothers, in-laws, neighbors, and the larger society that we must not see election as a do-or-die affair. We should promote peaceful elections and service delivery against personal gains. Let me once again assure you that APC will continue to support you and support you generously. I wish you very successful and fruitful deliberations. Thank you.
No women. Let me start by commending immensely the work of our chairman, the chief host of this august convention of our women, for making today possible. And let me also express gratitude to the women's representative on the caretaker committee, Mrs. Stella Okotete, who has done a yeoman's job with the planning committee of this conference. I would also like to especially thank my brother, since I will be retiring very soon into their committee. I can see Governor Kashim Shettima here. I can also see Governor Tanko Almakura, so that they treat me well when I become a former governor. I want to recognize them, and the former speaker who is here with us, Right Honorable Dimeji Bankole. I was saying that without our women, we have no future. Without our women, we actually also have no present. And there can also be no past that is recognizable without our women. And as a progressive party dedicated to improving the social conditions of our people, we have a duty, indeed a responsibility, to continue to improve on the quality of support and solidarity that we give the women of our country. And when we do this, we're not doing our women a favor. We are actually doing ourselves a duty, because it makes economic sense. And anyone who has had the privilege of working with women at close range, you will discover that they are your best armor bearers. And they are also the best delivery agents. I have seen it at close quarters. I work with women. My women commissioners are my best commissioners. I also work with women in President Buhari's cabinet, and I can attest to the commitment, the competence, the compassion, and the hard work that they put in to ensuring that we deliver on the promises we've made to our people. I have no doubt that this conference will give us enough to chew on. In the Governors Forum, we are all he for she. That is why in June last year, on June 10 last year at the Nigerian Governors Forum, we declared a state of emergency against gender-based violence all over Nigeria. At the time we did that, there were only 14 states in our country that had signed up, that is, that have enacted laws against gender-based and gender and sexual-based violence, particularly the VAP Act. But as I speak before you today, 30 states have signed up to the VAP Act in Nigeria. And I can assure you that the remaining 6 states are working assiduously to also sign up on it. Of course, you will tell me that enacting laws is one thing. Actually enforcing law is what women need. And I wouldn't bat an eyelid in agreeing with you that that is correct. But it's a journey of 1,000 years. We want to shorten that journey, but it must start with a single step. And I must thank our wives, the First Ladies of our various states, under the leadership of the First Lady of our country, Dr. Mrs. Aisha Buhari, who have consistently nudged us to live up to our promises to our women, to ensure that we do all within our powers and all that is conferred on us in the Constitution of Nigeria to give a sense of self-worth to our women. And I would like to just end on a note of request. We're going into our convention. I'm sure that our chairman at an appropriate time will let us know the date of that convention in February. I would like to plead with the chairman that we should make this a policy convention. A policy convention where we can specifically take one by one all those aspects of life that our people want to know, what we have done in the last 6 years, what we're still going to do in the next roughly 17 months left to our government, and how we will consolidate on that by ensuring that we elect another All Progressives Congress president in 2023. I know that this is something that Mr. Chairman and the Caretaker Committee is interested in, and we in the All Progressive Congress Governors Forum, the PGF, will be happy to work with them in order to ensure that that convention that is coming in February is not just a convention to elect officers of the party, but also a policy convention to examine where we are, where we've come from, and where we're headed. Oh, I'm told that the chairman has already announced February 26th as the day of convention. So in another roughly 5 weeks, let's get ready for that policy convention. And in order to build and prepare for that, I hope this conference will come up with a charter of demands that would come to that policy convention on issues that are germane to our women. I know that we have covered a lot of ground, but we still have a lot of grounds to cover. We have not done enough for our women. We can do a lot more than what we have done, both in terms of representation of women in offices, but also in terms of service delivery to our women across the length and breadth of Nigeria. But we have the strength, we have the capacity, we have the energy, we have the commitment, and we have the compassion to ensure that we deliver to our women. Thank you. God bless you. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Your Excellency, the Vice President of Liberia, Vice President Tello, the scriptures have populated us with women who achieve and men who achieve. And that's foundational. In fact, for those of us of the Muslim faith, there is a very often cited saying of the Prophet that someone once asked him, who should I first honor, my mother or my father? And he said, my mother, your mother. And the gentleman asked again, and the Prophet repeated, your mother. And he asked again, and the Prophet repeated, your mother. And he asked again, and the gentleman now was told by the Prophet, your father. So this set the tone, and I'm sure it's all in the Abrahamic faith, Christianity, Judaism. There is reverence and for this equality and acknowledgement that, as the Governor of Fire may say, without women, there's no nation. Without women, there's no development. So, but the challenge is, how do we ensure that as societies evolve, as societies change, women who face more Herculean challenges are given the pride of place. Attention is paid to ensure that they progress. A lot of us went to primary school or secondary school or universities with women who are much, much more brilliant and smarter than us. But somehow they end up not doing very well as men in maybe national life or in business life, because they face barriers that ought to be appreciated and dealt with. And that is, I believe, the departure point, because the APC, under the able leadership of our party leader, President Muhammadu Buhari, have shown by example the effort to include, promote, and show that our women are as good as anybody else. As they are good as men, they are good as women anywhere else. Today, we have women in Nigeria playing roles in the international stage. President Muhammadu Buhari fought to ensure that Amina Mohammed is where she is today, a Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations. President Muhammadu Buhari fought and ensured that Ngozi Iweala is today the Director General of the World Trade Organization. President Muhammadu Buhari appointed ministers, many women ministers in his government, including Kemi Adeosun and now Zainab Shamsuna Ahmed.
We're announcing the arrival of Her Excellency. Everybody, let's put our hands together. The First Lady, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Please let us appreciate and welcome Her Excellency, Dr. Aisha, Barry, the future is assured, the future is present, she's here with us.
In fact, our kitty manager, the very able Zainab Shamsuna Ahmed, who took over, succeeded another very able woman, Kemi Adioshun, as well as ministers, Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, my sister Sadia, Minister of Women Affairs, and my other sister, Minister of the FCT, and several other women who have participated in this government as ministers. Beyond ministers, President Muhammadu Buhari have shown confidence by appointing women in other unusual or for the first time positions of power for the first time. When Mr. President appointed Hadiza Bala Usman to be managing director of the Nigerian Port Authority, is the first both for a woman and a very young woman for that matter. And Mr. President deserves commendation. The same thing with the Central Bank. Mr. President appointed a very young woman as a deputy governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria. Mr. President appointed a sister of mine, Fatima Shenkavi, as the executive secretary of the National Medium and Small Scale, the Mining Solid Minerals Development Fund, and in fact charged her with the responsibility of finding enough gold to make the mining sector compete with the NMTC, and so on and so forth. And it's happening in different states. Women councillors, women ministers, women advisors, women participating in government. And all this couldn't have been possible without party foundation, which Mr. President Buhari has been promoting. Equally, his wife, Her Excellency Aisha Buhari, has boldly and courageously spoken in favor of women inclusion in Nigeria, and she has led by example, and we thank her. In governmental programs, and I think this is important for this conference to reflect on, millions of women have been included by programs that have been initiated and executed by this government. But millions more need to be included, because the challenge is not even about inclusion, it's to include quick enough. So the conference should reflect on what we can do to take the commitment of Mr. President, take commitment of his wife, Her Excellency, and ensure that we fund programs, more programs that will further mobilize more women into the economic liberation that has been started by the revolution of this government. We are very, very grateful that the member representing women in the National Caretaker, very able Honorable Stella Okotiti, who is equally an appointee of Mr. President in NEXIM, have yet again proved capacity by organizing this conference today. I was having a discussion with the Minister of Women Affairs, and I told her that this conference might as well reflect, and we are lucky that the chairman of the National Caretaker Committee is here or is being represented, that the quickest way to include more women in political party offices is to ensure that both at the national headquarters of the APC, at the respective state party offices and ward party offices, where in most cases you find that all the directors and administrative organs of the party are men. We can demand that at all levels we ensure that before the year runs out, at least 30% of those are women. This is not elected positions, these are administrative positions, and they will create the opportunity for more women to interact in an organized manner with the political office and ensure that women are included in political office more, which will support the foundation for them having to be elected. Okay. We need them more, and the progress that we have recorded will be cemented. In Kebbi State, I believe we have done well. We have elected women councillors. We have had a woman who was the chairman of the local government, and people who appreciate that conservatism in our state must be acknowledged how important is that. Equally, and lastly, I know how Mr. President took personal interest, encouraged by Her Excellency, the wife of the President, First Lady of the Federal Republic, our mother, to campaign for Her Excellency Dr. Zainab Bagudu to be a member of the Union for International Cancer Control, which was quite successful. So this is as far as Mr. President and this administration has been willing to go to support the progress of women. And so on behalf of all the governors of the Progressive Congress, of the forum, I congratulate the party and the Honorable Stella Oketiti and the organizing team, and most especially Her Excellency, our mother, and the wife of the Vice President, Mrs. Dolapo Osibajo. I believe the Vice President of Liberia has been invited, and she graciously accepted to send a lesson to us that Nigerian women expect more. They want Vice President, and for Liberia that has set the pace in electing former President Ellen Sirleaf Johnson, maybe is also a bigger warning that the Nigerian women are ready to take on and ensure that Nigeria is pride of place. Thank you very much and congratulations.
Okay. Women, oh, yes, we can. Women, oh. No, the little addition I will do is little advice that the way I see you here, I became really, really very happy with the cooperation, the network, and the organization. So if you continue in this direction, I'm sure you will retire us all in a very short, no distance future. So continue to organize, continue to plan, and continue to be our brothers' keepers. The sky will be your limit. Women, oh! Women, oh! Thank you very much.
Great Nigerian women, great Nigerian women, great Nigerian women. The governor of the Gawa has just said, women, oh, I think we are great women, aren't we? Thank you. Thank you. Your Excellency, Vice President of Liberia, Your Excellency, the wife of the Vice President, the governors, the National Woman Leader of APC, the ministers here present, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol duly observed. Your Excellency, Dr. Mrs. Joel Forward Taylor, the people of Nigeria are happy to have you in our country at this important occasion. Your effort in empowering African women is highly commendable, and I'm sure it is the same desire to advance the cause of African women. African woman has that brought you here together today. There's no doubt that with women leaders like you, the future is bright for the African woman and our continent. I thank you for obliging to be here and appreciate your role as a model for younger generation of women of Africa. Certainly one of the few female vice presidents in Africa. You have set a lead in promoting women development. To all leaders and members of our great party, the All Progressive Congress, this landmark gathering will go down in history as a major turning point in our effort to establish APC as a unique party with utmost dedication to the empowerment of women in Nigeria. I consider it not only an honor to be part of this historic event, but also a call to duty. This is the first time the National Women's Conference of the APC is being held to establish our commitment to strengthen the position of women in matters of national importance, especially in increasing the visibility of women, positioning women for future political offices, and encouraging them to inspire more towards the progress of our great party. Since 2015, I have had the privilege of engaging Nigerian women across the entire country. My conviction is that Nigeria's future is entirely dependent on actualizing the potentials of our women. It is no mere coincidence that countries that have grown strong, prosperous, and influential to have prioritized women participation in national building. I therefore wish to call upon the APC to double its efforts promoting women. This, I believe, should serve as one of the objectives of this conference. As Nigeria heads towards another election, we must go beyond paying lip service to putting women in vital offices within our party and the government. We must put in place workable strategies to ensure that this actually happens. Charity begins at home. And so the APC must start by ensuring that women occupying strategic offices within the party and the most strategic roles in government. When this happens, it will become a lot easier for us to empower the Nigerian women for the much needed leadership politically and economically. There is no doubt that future indeed looks bright as APC continues to lead our country. Women who have long been ignored and denied opportunities are now finding their voices gradually. This is a good omen for Nigeria because when women shine, society shines. I think as women have gathered here today, we have been invited by the national woman leader, and women are here cut across the country to answer the call. The governors are here, the ministers are here. The few women that are opportune to be ministers are here. The few women that are opportune to head government agencies and parastatals are here. Those that are opportune to be as board members are here. APC has done so much. We felt that they have done so much, but we still need a little bit more, and still more needs to be done. As the governors are here today, before we round up, we would like to know how many percentage are going to be given women in order to tally with the 45-35 affirmative action. The governor of Kebbi has said a lot. We thank him so much for his long explanation, but we need more in Kebbi State. We need more women. We need more women in decision-making bodies, from local government, state, up to federal level. And the governors are here, the ball is in their hands. I think if we did not get 35 affirmative action that we desired or that we are entitled to, we need to hold the governors responsible. In conclusion, I call upon the Nigerian women to continue the struggle by showing greater interest, commitment, and unity in the decision-making process of this country. Our vintage point lies on our shared numerical strength. While wishing us a successful conference, I declare and unveil the Women Academic mobile app. Thank you so much, and God bless you all.
Yes, indeed. Let us thank her so much. And right now on the screens, we will have the presentation of the unveiling of the Progressive Women Academy mobile app. Her Excellency.
Introducing
Right
our
now,
Progressive Women Academy, PWA. We aim to train over 20 million women in store. After downloading, click on Open to launch the app. Swipe the welcome page to reveal the messages, then begin. Click on Sign Up to register. How to register? Input your details as requested, and with the terms and conditions.
In the name of God, God be the glory. We are unveiling this mobile app for the benefit of Nigerian women and youth.
A round of applause.
Let's move back. Let's move back. Let's move back. Let's move back.
A lot of times when people hear the word leadership, it feels as though it's something reserved for the extraordinary kind of people.
I want to Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Thank you very much for your trust. And right now, we'll be going directly to the keynote.
Let me begin by extending my deepest gratitude to God, maker of heaven and earth, by whose mercies and grace my delegation and I, coming all the way from Liberia, landed here safely and have had a very, very, very excellent time so far. My appreciation also goes to His Excellency, President Muhammadu Buhari, the President and the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the leadership, officials and members of the APC, for allowing the APC Women's Congress to extend me an invitation to be here with you today. I also want to be grateful to His Excellency the Vice President, a brother and a friend for many years, for joining me yesterday as I celebrated my birthday here in the beautiful city of Abuja. I was indeed blessed by his show of genuine love that he shows wherever he goes. I also want to thank Her Excellency the First Lady, Dr. Aisha Buhari, for the warm courtesies accorded me since I've arrived here, and for sending me some most beautiful gifts that I received last night in celebration of my birthday. To the strong women of the National Progressive Women's Congress, I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart for allowing someone to come out of your sector where you have so many brilliant and exceptional women to come and add my voice to what is happening here in Nigeria. Thank you for the honor received. I must also say thank you to Her Excellency Haji Aramatu Tijani Aliyah, Minister of State, for being a gracious deputy host to Her Excellency the First Lady. During my stay, my delegation and I are very, very, very pleased. Thank you so much. Excellencies, our distinguished chairman, leaders and officials of the APC, the leaders and officials of the All Progressive Women's Congress, all of the women of the APC seated in this hall. Your theme for today's conference, One Voice, Women Uniting for Progress, is timely. But this assignment that I have been given to speak to you today, I do not take lightly, especially when I consider the fact that today's event indicates a very brand new paradigm shift in the vision and governance of political parties, and especially the APC. Today's event may seem simple to you, but I know it is a break in the tradition, which means the APC that has already begun to support women are prepared to go to the next level. Can we clap for the APC? It is clear that whatever happens here in Nigeria as the big brother for West Africa spreads everywhere else. As you continue to set the pace for national life, for examples in ECOWAS, I thank you for this bold and visionary chapter in your history. Permit me at this juncture to speak to the subject of my theme, women political leaders leveraging their networks to transform Nigeria. I hope at the end of my presentation, not only the APC women's agenda, but the entire party's agenda and strategies for 2023 elections will include some of what I would say. I was happy to hear some of the party leaders already alluding to this. This conference has forged a bold new pathway forward, and it opens our eyes to the available opportunities, enabling the APC to take a retrospective look at what has happened in the past, what is happening today, and what shall happen tomorrow. It is exciting as I look from the outside at this bold new pathway. As you take cognizance of the gaps in previous plans, consider the inclusiveness of all segments of society, including women and youth. I believe some of you may be wondering, especially our male colleagues, what is this conference all about? What are the women up to? What more do they want? And maybe should we worry about the path they are taking? Let me assuage the minds of our male colleagues that these and many other questions may not be as important as the intent to which this conference has been organized. The fact that after all consultations were concluded, the simple decision to hold this Congress has indeed become a new formula. This is now the new normal for political parties, and anyone who will not converge their young people and their women together to hear from them are already defeated. So we want to clap for the APC for this new trajectory. Previously, the norm would be that the leadership will hold a General Assembly dominated by the political patriarchy of our countries, most times not giving thought to what the women and the young people want. They would assume year after year that the women and the young people would just come along because they would have set the framework. I believe today is indeed a new day and a new political dispensation in our lifetime. But I want to thank the APC chairman and all of the leaders that this first step is indeed a winning strategy at all levels. So you are already 50% ahead. As I consider the deep implications of this two-day summit, permit me to bring to your consciousness the enormity of the political shift which is taking place today. The first issue is why a women's conference? Because the statistics prove that females make up 49.3% of the population. That means women make up about 125 million people across Nigeria. That indeed is a large number. If the APC has registered voters or registered party members of 41 million, then you have another 65 or 70 million who can become a part of this great political work. There is work to be done. But if the political party that is the APC intends to retain its political power, the 50% of your population that is female must be fully engaged. And not like they were in the past, becoming women wing chairs, becoming mobilizers at the bottom level, and ensuring that we secure the votes. To our honorable chairman, officials and members of the APC, the powerful women of the All Progressive Women's Congress, this is a new day. Your point in gathering is one voice. Is there indeed a need for a singular voice? I say yes, there is. For there is a perception at every level that women are not united and they are incapable of speaking with one voice. Today has proven that this is not necessarily so. There is an urgent need for the recalibration at the party level, which begins today, to bring all women and young people under one umbrella for one strong voice that may translate into one strong push for 2023. This dream of uniting our women is a possibility, as Stella and the others have proven to you today. How then can we create a level playing field so that all of our hopes and aspirations are indeed met under the political party framework? Fortunately, there is a Congress being held by the party sometime in February. I want to raise my voice and add to yours that women can again establish and leverage networks for transformation. We cannot ignore that valuable networks that are maintained, that are encouraged, that are inclusive is a formula for a win. This is the true art of politics. And I know you will be aware, because you've won an election and you're hopefully poised to win the third one, that there are simple rules for networking. Be clear about what you want. Take your conversations to the grassroots and to the people. Maintain tight control of the processes. Go beyond your normal circle of partisans. There are many partisans out there who want to be a part but have not yet been approached. Identify valuable connections and connectors. There are grassroots people that are able to connect communities and states beyond the normal barriers. They must be identified and brought on board. Please never be afraid to ask for help. However, there is one rule: do not reciprocate as a means of repayment for the goodwill that people give you. Most people think it is an affront to them, because when they join you with their hearts and their hands, they don't want a reciprocal act. For indeed, you cannot really pay for the work that is done during the political party process to bring political parties to bear. You must always stay connected to those who have helped you reach this far. Never forget those who believed in your dreams and helped to make them come true. And the list for why you should have a successful network could go on and on and on. But as an experienced political party, I know that these are simple things that the women have already grasped. I'm sure that as you negotiate and discuss and come up with a framework for the 2022 elections, these will be seriously taken under consideration. So allow me to step away for a little bit and just speak a few critical truths to power before I take my seat. I want to speak firstly to the leadership of the APC. As we stand in this time and season, the world has changed before our very eyes. And the perspective on every single thing has changed. COVID-19 and the pandemic has forced upon us a new world. Those who hold the power of the votes across the continent are in two categories, women and youth. And so as you look at the perspectives of how you go forward and your mode of operation going towards 2023, it must be radically different. The end goal is that the APC wants desperately to change the normal scenario of a ruling party having two terms and then the electorate switching power to the other side. It is your hope, I believe, to win the 2023 elections and to hold power for the next 8 years. Is that right? If you want that, as strongly as I believe that you do, then the rules which undergird political systems and orders must change drastically. I heard our fathers of the political patrimony talk about the fact that there are women in the executive branch. There are women in the local wards. There are women in some of the political party structures. But those numbers are too small and they are not enough. Therefore, the new vision, strategies, and policies must reflect the dreams and the hopes and aspirations of the women that make up 125 million strong across your nation. The women and youth form the core of a winning strategy, but they want full participation. No longer women wing chairpersons, no longer campaign chairs, no longer the mobilizers. They will do that because this is the way that we are built. We want specific seats allocated for women that will be elected in 2023. We no longer just want to be foot soldiers or messengers. We are capable, we are able, and we are ready. APC must be cognizant of the newest societal platform, the new digital platforms that can make or break an election. A lot of the people in the older generation do not take cognizance of the fact that one simple video on social media can change something to the negative. I hope your strategy will be a very robust social media campaign talking about the issues, speaking to the heart of the people of Nigeria so that they come along with you in the process and hold their hopes and aspirations until the day of elections. The APC must put their boots on the ground. In our elections in 2017, we decided, since we were the underdogs going against the ruling party, we would change our strategy. We decided to go house to house, person to person, windows to windows, doors to doors, markets to markets, and people on the streets. You must put your boots on the streets so that the message resonates from the highest level to the lowest level. Those messages coming from the APC must be dreams in which the lives of our people, especially the majority, are changed and transformed in a very short time. The young people must be willing to believe that you are on their side and that you are desirous of transforming their lives. The leadership of the APC must please begin to consider strategic positions within the party framework at the highest level and elected positions, not just for women, but also for young people who have been trained and are able to also be a part of the governance system of your country. It is my hope and prayer that over the next few months, as the political process continues, that Nigeria, APC, the big brother of ECOWAS, will be shining examples to the other nations in our region. And that the advocacy in which our leaders have championed over the years, that have been ratified by the heads of state and authority for the full inclusion of marginalized groupings in the governance space, will become a reality in 2022. I look forward to Nigeria setting the bar where it should be, where you will raise the political willpower to nominate, and with the subsequent approval of the party structure, allow women to be voted as governors, deputy governors, legislatures, and perhaps for the first time, to have a female as a strategic partner as vice president of the greatest African democracy in our region. It is possible. By doing that, I believe you will get more than 100 million votes, because women across the spectrum will indeed vote for the APC as the new party with a new dynamism for the new future. Let us remember the words of Africa's greatest son, Madiba Nelson Mandela, who said, and I quote, "We must be honest and open about the power relationships between men and women. Each of us has the responsibility to help build a more enabling and supportive environment that puts the role of women in the center of every single thing that is being done." He also went on to say, "Strange things always seem impossible until it is done. But what is strange about a woman being in a position of leadership?" And let me tell you a small story. My father, who spoke earlier, talked about the creation in God, and I wanted to expand it a little bit. It's become my most famous story in the Bible, and it's also in the Quran. If you go back and you read the beginning of how God created the heavens and the earth, he created man, and he said what? Everything was good. So what was it that God saw? What did God see? To realize that there was something missing, he stopped everything, put man to sleep, and created woman as your partner, as your helpmate, as your progressive and visionary twin. How did that change over the years? How come we've moved from our position of being a partner and a twin to someone on the other side? As a female politician, I want to say to each of you in this hall, and to the more than 125 million women across Nigeria, life will not give you what you deserve. It will give you what you put all of your energies into to bring to fruition. This choice as to how far the APC will take your resolutions rests in your hands. The women of APC must be clear as to what they really want and put it in a resolution, clearly deciding where they want to be, how they want to be given those positions, and make it a condition precedent for the full support of the women's agenda here in Nigeria. This final resolution will carry your aspirations, your dreams, and your hopes. I believe at the end, it will be given to the leadership of the APC, and I'm happy to have heard some of the governors talk about being he for she champions. I believe the proof will be in the pudding, that when this resolution comes to your table and the deliberations begin, that you will stand up and say, indeed, it is time. Women can become the arrowhead of this particular process if you include them, if you provide more equality, freedom to express and be a part, and if you decide that you will begin to break down the many barriers that hold us apart. I spoke to a very powerful woman yesterday who said, if Christians will just stick with our Christian values, and if the Muslims will stick with their Muslim values, and will take away all of the prejudices and the cultures that hold women back, we will be a long way forward in providing the peace and unity that we deserve. To the women of APC, this is your charge. Do not let yourselves down. To our leaders, to our fathers, our husbands and our brothers, it is time to shift the political landscape of your beloved nation. I pray that each of you will take the political high ground and ensure that this is done. Thankfully, you have current examples of leaders within your ranks at the level of the different governors that have done amazing work to open up the governance space and allow greater participation for women. However, those spaces that women occupy are normally second tier. What it means is that they are not in the driver's seat. Some of us that are across this hall, and I have met some brilliant, trained, capable women who could be considered, can be in the driver's seat to make sure Nigeria begins the new trajectory. Excellencies, our Honorable Chairman, our distinguished First Lady and Second Lady, members of the APC Women's Congress, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me close before I let my welcome become a little worn out. As long as outmodal ways of thinking present women from meaningfully contributing to society, progress will be slow. We can no longer afford to slow down the progress of a great nation like Nigeria. As I said, indeed, it is time. It is time for a bold and transformative agenda. Now is the time. Thank you so much for allowing me to add my voice to this convention. I wish you a successful deliberations. APC women!
The women of the All Progressives Congress have spoken. They are done with being supporters and mobilizing votes. They want actual political power and are standing on the need for 35% affirmative action, calling on the governors to ensure that this happens. Now, with the announcement from the APC caretaker chairman today that the convention will be holding on the 26th of February, he's asking for the support of all women in this regard to ensure that they have a very successful convention. Kayla Megwa, Channels Television News.
And I'm sure